Hello everybody, and welcome back. Let's talk about the brand new affix that's actually live this week, and that's Explosive. Before we get too into it, let's go over exactly what Explosive does. What it does is it spawns an orb at a mob's feet, and it starts casting a 6-second cast. When that cast time is over, that orb explodes for 50% of that mob's HP, and it hits everyone within about 40 yards. So now, the right way to deal with this affix is to actually just kill the orb. However, this orb is immune to AoE and to cleave damage, and you actually can't use a macro to slash target it either. So in order to actually even target the orb, you have to either right click it or spam tab until you actually end up targeting the orb. Now the only redeeming thing that I can say about this is that in patch 7.2, they did fix the tab targeting system, so it's not as bad as it was before. So it's not that terrible anymore. We can actually target the orbs. And once the orbs are targeted, you can either one or two shot them depending if you're using auto attacks or a single target ability. So they don't live forever. The 6-second cast is only there so that you hurry up and target them, but they still are a very big nuisance. Now, when they went live earlier this week, and if you were part of my live stream, you actually saw some of these things happen as well. They have actually been fixed a little bit. They had a lot of errors before, and they used to spawn on things that weren't mobs, like brambles or roots, images, whatever it was. There were certain things that aren't even targetable mobs, and they would spawn off of these. So the explosive orbs were really detrimental to gameplay. However, the developers heard us, and now the orbs only spawn off of actual mobs. So if a mob can trigger bolstering, the mob can also spawn one of these orbs. So what you'll see here is you will repeatedly see these orbs pop up. Now something I do have that isn't stock is you see when these orbs pop up, every now and then their nameplate will be shiny and really big and glowing. This is not default. This is actually a Weakaura made by a user named Sandcastles over on the WoW subreddit. So I'll go ahead and link to his topic down below so you guys can check out that topic for the Weakaura. And this Weakaura doesn't always work, but it does work some of the time, and when it works, it's beautiful. It gives you a really nice big glowing nameplate that allows you to target the fell explosion a lot easier. Now there are a few ways that we can deal with these fell explosives that'll help us pull bigger packs. The two big things that we should know about these explosives before pulling a pack is that since they have been hotfixed, they can actually be line of sighted and they can actually be outran. So what this means is you can pull a really big pack, hide behind a corner, and any explosives that they spawn outside of that corner will not hit you as long as they can't see you. Also, if you are kiting mobs to a certain location, as long as you run about 40 yards away, that seems to be the breakpoint for these orbs, the orb will not hit you as well. So for those of you that tried this affix earlier this week on Tuesday and on Wednesday like I did, the affix has been bumped down a little bit. It's been implemented in a much better way, a much more manageable way. So I do suggest getting back in there. It does seem like plus 10s are going to be achievable again. I know there were some groups that were very coordinated that actually did get above plus 10, but now even in pugs we should be fine to be able to get that plus 10 just because of the hotfixes that were done to these fell orbs. So if you're pulling a big group, remember, hide behind a corner, and if you can't, tab spam. I'm not crazy about this affix since it seems like the affix is mainly just a whack-a-mole game by tabbing spam and then using an ability, but it has at least gotten somewhat better. One last thing to note for those prot warriors out there or for people out there that also benefit from getting killing blows, every single time you kill one of these explosives, it actually does count as a killing blow. So keep that in mind if you need to proc Victory Rush or if you're trying to use a type of food that actually gives you benefit from killing something. This will all be possible with this affix now. I hope that helps. In this particular week, the first week that Fell Explosives is active, it actually is paired up with teaming. So there are some instances like Halls of Valor that are going to be a little bit more difficult for us. But if you follow this advice, try to LOS them on some of those bigger packs, you should be fine. And if you would like to support the channel and gain some perks while doing it, get early access to some videos, have me coach you, review some videos, go over some talents with you, or even pick a topic for a future video, you can go ahead and visit my Patreon and support the channel there. But as always, good luck out there.